Okay, it should be set up.
Okay, we are getting it on. Yes. Yeah, actually live on Facebook too. So sorry, YouTube as well. That's good.
Hey, so sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
Okay.
Is there anything particular you want me to call out, Raghu?
So primarily, what I wanted to do, Akash, is ask about your background
Yeah.
and why did you decide? Did you do O1 and EB1 or?
I did O1, NIW, and EB-1A.
Okay, all right. So we'll understand the background about where did you go to school, how you got introduced to manifest law, what were your options, so all those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have 10 more minutes, so others will come in.
Yeah. Give me a minute. I'll
Sure,
be
no
right back.
problem. Yeah.
Is my audio coming in correctly?
Yeah, audio is all good. Yeah,
Okay, great.
already people should be able to watch right now. So maybe some of them started a little early, joined a little early.
Yeah.
All right, so few 8 more minutes. It's always good to start a little bit early, have all the setup, have it up and running.
Yeah.
And especially we're trying this for the first time with StreamYard and then coming to two of my platforms. So with Facebook, I still have not gone live, but I have everything ready to go live. What's your plan for this weekend, Akash?
It's my son's 4-month birthday. So
Oh,
after this, I'll go cut the cake.
Okay, fantastic. First kid?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. You?
We have a Diwali party.
Nice.
About 20 people are coming. So I'm going to quickly finish this one, and then we got a lot of cooking work to do. I need to go help my wife. So we had one on Friday, one yesterday, and the third one today. So typically for Diwali with us, the week before and week after, it's always going to be a get together of some sorts.
Nice.
So we are hosting all the three events this weekend in our home. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. And have you done one of these with Manifest before, or is it the first time, or like
You are the fourth.
fourth? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So I've spoken with Nicole twice,
Yeah.
and I've spoken with another attorney, the former USCIS officer.
Right.
So I've spoken with him. I did interviews for O1 and H1B layoffs. And then we did one for the 100K fees news as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
So next week I'm talking to Nicole again,
Okay.
specifically for EB1. I did an O1 interview with her, frequently asked questions for O1 about 2 weeks back. And then after I talk to you, I'm going to talk to Nicole next Thursday.
I see.
Another hour-long session. Yeah. So, but I have done webinars like you, somebody like you who has gone through O1 or other visa challenges or unique experiences, hundreds of them.
Nice.
Yeah, so lots of interviews are there. Even when I posted this webinar request on my group, somebody said, Raghu, even I got my EB1 approved. I want to share my experience as well. So
Nice.
probably I'll bring them on a little later. I'm not sure if they were with Manifest. Maybe they got it through some other firm, but mostly that kind of interviews I tend to do it not publicly. We have a private Facebook group.
I see.
I have a paid membership program. So I tend to do within the platform.
Okay.
All right. So let's go live on my Facebook as well. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now we are live both on Facebook and YouTube. It's just that Facebook, it starts from now. YouTube, the stream started 8 minutes ago. So we have like 8 minutes of chit chat. Somebody has listened to us.
Hello, whoever you are.
For folks, if you are watching us live here in StreamYard, please post in the comments. You can ask questions. Anything that you wanted to ask Aakash, please you can post it on the comment. We are happy to take your questions. You have like a get together planned, Aakash, in your home for your.
Yeah. My mom is here, and my wife's parents are here too.
Oh, fantastic. That's typically tough to have both the parents at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One group is leaving while the other has just
Yeah.
arrived. So it's
Okay. At least glad you had an
trying to make
overlap.
something work.
Yeah. Okay, good. How long your parents are going to stay here?
Probably a couple of months.
Couple of months. Okay. All right. Is it getting cold where you are?
Yes.
Bay Area, San Jose or
San Jose.
San Jose? Okay. So we have a freeze warning today. It was like in 30s.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay, I got a minute before we get going. Okay, Akash, I think we can get started, Akash. All right.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live webinar. You might be watching in StreamYard with us, or you could be in the Facebook group, or you could be in YouTube, or you could be watching us sometimes later in the future. So today is October 26th, Sunday 2025. I have Aakash with me today. He's going to be my guest. I'm going to be talking to Aakash about his O1 visa journey and EB1. This webinar is sponsored by Manifest Law, and Aakash was one of their clients. When I started working with Manifest, I actually wanted one of their clients to come and talk to me so that we can get to know the process, not just hear from an attorney point of view, but also hear from somebody who has gone through the process with them. Hi, Akash. Welcome and thanks for doing this.
Hey, Raghu. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Tell me, where are you located, Akash?
Yeah, I'm in San Jose. Been here for the past 7 years now.
Okay, fantastic. What got you to San Jose? Was that the first place where you came here to the US, or did a journey take you to San Jose?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the US for 7 years, and for all those 7 years, I've been in San Jose. So, and even within a 5 mile radius of San Jose, personally as well as professionally. So, I came to the US to do my master's in software engineering from San Jose State. And when I was at San Jose State, I did a bunch of internships at PayPal as a software engineer and at Zoom, the video communications company, as a product manager. And I ended up working full time at both places. And both places are in downtown San Jose. I currently work at Zoom as a product lead, uh, working on the core meetings product, collaboration, growth, and adoption. So, yeah, I think that's just a quick overview.
Sure, got it. So, where are you from back home originally?
Yeah, I'm from Pune in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what schools did you get accepted into, and then why did you end up in San Jose State?
Yeah. I got accepted into ASU, Northeastern, and San Jose State, and San Diego State. So I think San Jose State stood out because of their program, the location, the optionality, and I had a bunch of friends go there and heard good reviews about it.
Okay. So, how was your journey in San Jose State as a student?
Very difficult. The toughest 2 years of my life, but also the best decision I ever made in hindsight,
Mhm.
and good that I didn't go to any of those schools. And the location of San Jose State, coupled with a tough semester work, the curriculum really helped me to kind of make many decisions which affect me right now.
Okay. So, we will get to your O1 visa and EB1 visa, how you found Manifest Law and how they helped you in a bit.
Uh-huh.
But let's set the context for how you got there. So, you mentioned it's difficult. In what way? Why do you say it was difficult being in San Jose State?
Yeah, I mean I think when at least when I went there, it was really known for its tough classes. And as an enthusiastic international student, I said, let's take all the tough classes. So I kind of bit more off than I could chew, and the work just seemed never ending. And plus, when you're an international student, you also have to look for internships, full time roles. So all of that was extremely demanding but also very rewarding in many scenarios where you are in the heart of Silicon Valley. You see all these company headquarters around you, so it's also natural to feel motivated to push yourself and work hard in that case.
Okay.
And actually, by going to San Jose State, got me to my internships, my roles, and ultimately the EB1 in a very weird way.
Okay, all right. Generally, what I have seen, Akash, students tend to struggle on the first semester. Coming from India, there is going to be a learning curve, an adjustment curve to the new education system, the methodology of how you have to do your homework, and everything is different. Did that contribute for you to say it was the challenging part 2 years, or it was just the academic environment was challenging?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's a two-parter. I think the second semester is the hardest for most people because the first semester is just spent coasting sometimes, or like doing very little work, and then it catches up to you like, hey, I need to maintain a 3.0 GPA. So the first semester is just spent adjusting, kind of roaming around, having fun, and the second semester is when reality hits you that I really need to find an internship by the end of this semester. So everyone is in that grind mode in that scenario. But it was also the coursework and just being in a new place, new ways of working, new study environment, working with many groups of people who come from all over the world, that also adds to the challenge.
Okay, got it. So you got internship in PayPal while you were in San Jose State.
That's right.
Okay, and then that converted into your full time during your OPT.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and how did how did you go from there to today?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when I was interning at PayPal, I was working there as a software engineer. So it was a regular software engineering internship, but I think in the week 4 of my internship, I really didn't feel that I was enjoying the work at all. So I also asked like, can I work on something else? And PayPal internship was super flexible. They have a great program, so I got to work on something else entirely, but I still didn't like it. So I talked with a bunch of people, I networked in PayPal, spoke to many senior leaders there, and then found out about product management as a career option in that scenario. So what I understood about product management was it was more around like a multi-dimensional role where you talk to like product design engineering. So when I was at PayPal, I also started exploring this whole idea of product management, but still also continuing to work on my software engineering internship. My internship converted to a full-time role, which meant a year later I had to join back as a software engineer.
Hmm.
But I since was interested in product management. After the internship ended, technically I could do nothing and still join as a full-time software engineer at PayPal. But I kept looking for PM internships, and doing so, 3 days before I was going to visit my parents back home, I got an offer from Zoom to be a product management intern. So I canceled my trip, did that internship for 6 months
Hmm.
up until my graduation. That was also during the onset of COVID. So it was a very interesting internship to see Zoom's growth during that time. But unfortunately, my Zoom internship did not get converted immediately to a full time role. So I ended up joining PayPal again as a software engineer.
Okay,
So in my mind, it was like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I still kept trying, kept in touch with my colleagues at Zoom. But a year later, I got a call back from my manager saying that, hey, there's an open role. Are you interested? And that's how I got into Zoom.
okay.
How the visa story plays here is
So
when I was at,
I'll come to that in a bit. Let's hold
okay,
on to the visa. So uh, you are doing intern in PayPal, then you got another intern in Zoom,
that's right.
and then after graduation, you went back to PayPal for full time.
Correct.
Okay, and then you got this opportunity. So
Yes.
did you work back in India before coming for your masters?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I directly came here after my bachelor's.
sure. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people here, Akash, who will be thinking, how do I go from being an entry level student who is doing computer science to a product management with literally only 1 year of experience? What did you have to do in those two internship and as well as in PayPal to get you a product management role?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I think the number one thing is uh, that there's no substitute for competence. So anywhere you go, you have to do great work to be
Mhm.
recognized and for people to remember you later on. And the second is try whatever it takes to get your foot in the door,
Mm.
even if it's just the first yes. If you have to reach out to someone directly, cold email someone, try to get in as in any way you can by talking with senior leaders. Even if you can get 15 minutes of someone's time to understand their perspective or any tips, that really plays a lot of dividends, because many people are not doing that. They are probably just applying to a role and then hoping that they will hear back from a recruiter. But with internships, especially PM internships becoming so competitive, it's really important to stand out in one way or the other, and that could be anyhow.
Okay. And how did you learn that you have to do this? Like you said, people are applying for jobs in hundreds, but they always complain, I'm not getting any calls back.
Right.
But you are telling, talk to somebody. You had, you weren't still touch with somebody who hired you in Zoom that got you back again.
Yeah.
So, what made you think I have to look for a job in this way, not just follow everybody is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So this started when I was looking for my first internship, like which ended up at PayPal. I was just applying to roles, customizing my resume a bit, and then just praying that something happens. And while preparing for interviews, but I wasn't getting a single interview. I tried referrals, reaching out to previous like people who were working in the industry who were students at San Jose State, but nothing was working. And ultimately, it was just out of frustration at that point, where I was just looking at creative ways of doing something. So I just tried at, hey, what's the worst that can happen if I reach out to someone directly via email? Number one, it's free. As a student, as an international student, cost is number, so it's free to reach out. The upside is limitless, where you get a reply. But the downside is there's no downside, because the worst is they'll ignore you, or the even worse is they'll say it's inappropriate to reach out, and then they'll block you or forget you, but that's about it. And they'll probably forget you in best case. But yeah, the upside is huge, so I just started cold emailing. It started working, not the best. Maybe I had a 5% hit rate with my emails, but ultimately, like, 5% is still better than getting no interview callbacks from direct upline. So I think that's what worked for me during PayPal, and that's the same thing that worked for me during Zoom. I just in-mailed on LinkedIn to the chief product officer that, hey, I'm interested in an internship at 11 p.m. and I heard back at, like, I think 1 a.m. or so. I'm not sure why I got, but I was just checking my phone like, hey, is this like real or not? But that ultimately converted to an interview and then an offer.
Okay.
So
So, both PayPal and Zoom, it was cold emailing that got you the job.
yes,
Okay. Just you hustled your way for both the options. Okay.
yes.
All right. So, now let's switch gears and talk about why did you decide you want to take the route of O1 visa?
Yeah. Uh, So it was less about me deciding, more that it was forced on me in some way. So when I was at PayPal, I got my H1B, uh, like my name picked in the H1B lottery in March. It was during my first try. And just for quick background, for international students, you get 3 tries before your student visa or like student work permit runs out, and then you have to leave the country. I got it in my first try. I was very happy. I mean, like, there's a big relief that, okay, it's people call like, oh, it's set now in some cases. But 3 weeks after I got that, I got the email from my Zoom manager that, hey, there's a role. Are you interested? And then, like, after an interview, I got the offer, but they needed someone to start ASAP. And the specific caveat with H1B is you have to wait till October 1st for H1B to kick in. If you leave your current job where your H1B was selected before that, you effectively give up your H1B. So I thought a lot about it. Took more time than I thought. But I'd look at Zoom, and they said they have a great program to send people whose visa isn't accepted to either Netherlands or any specific country like Singapore, and then maybe bring them back on an L1 visa. So I thought, in hindsight, my career change is more important, because I can just maximize my personal productivity or just go in the right direction right now. And with that decision, I gave up my H1B visa and went back on STEM OPT. Very
It's a
risky in
major
hindsight.
decision, man. It's not easy one to make.
Yes. And I was so unsure about it, I didn't even tell my PayPal manager at that time that I'm doing this. I just told like it's worked out, because even I wasn't ready to face that. Hey, I really did give it up. Like, oh my god. I told my parents after I gave it up. They're like, okay, I think you know what you're doing, so good luck. So in that case, they were very supportive. But I thought, hey, it will get picked next time, and it didn't. Then I thought, okay, in 2023 that it will get picked during my last year, and it didn't get picked again. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess in hindsight, I should have not given it up. But I'd accepted that whatever happens, I was still going to do good at work. And at that time, when I was at Zoom, I had published a bunch of patents with my work. That also partly led that, hey, since I've given up my H1B, might as well make most of Zoom and this role. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I heard, or like at March end in 2023, that I probably had to leave the country. So I started the immigration proceeding with Zoom to go to Netherlands for a year, and
Okay.
maybe a year or 2 years. So I gave that visa interview. I even had the flight ticket, the visa stamped and ready to go. And at 2 months before my flight, or like before my student visa expires, during that time, I was just looking at different ways of what I can do to stay here in the US, because I was married at that time and moving meant to live apart, like from my wife. So I looked at, there are a bunch of opportunities where I could do, like I could go back to school again, or I could do an O1 visa, or there were a bunch of ways. So I looked at the O1 visa and thought, hey, maybe I think I can do something here, because I had published a bunch of research papers back during my bachelor's in my undergrad, and I had a bunch of patents at Zoom. So I was thinking maybe I can make this work. So Zoom was super supportive in that scenario, where they said, okay, we can try both, and if the O1 happens, then we'll just cancel your flight to Amsterdam. So I had 2 months to not only file the O1 visa, but learn the ins and outs of its, like how to even think about the O1 visa. So that time was extremely brutal. Like after work, it was like 5-6 hours every day crafting the petition, going through every case criteria one by one, talking to as many people as I can. I probably talked to like 50 plus people, that hey, how did you get the O1 visa, or like attending any webinar I could find my hands on, getting recommendation letters from people, being ghosted by them. But ultimately, I think probably 4 days before my flight, my O1 visa got approved. And the thing with O1 is it's not tied to a specific date. If you get your O1 visa approved tomorrow, you can move to the US the day after.
Mm.
So it's very flexible in that case. So I could just stay on my O1 visa, and still continue to work at Zoom.
Okay, fantastic. Wow. Uh, Nerve-wracking journey to get this approval, right?
Very.
Very okay. So, how did you find manifest law in this journey? You said you spoke to so many different people. How did you find manifest law, and what happened after that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was some background. The O1, like if you're working for an employer, the O1 is a work visa, just like the H1B, which requires an employer to sponsor you. So in that case, Zoom sponsored me. And the way I found manifest law is when I started looking for what's next after my O1 approval. And when I started researching, it was then that I found out that something like the EB-1A exists in the first place. Because before that, I thought like everyone has to wait like 100 plus years for a green card if you're from India, because of the poor country backlog, what have you. So when I was just looking at different ways, like, wait, what can I do next? What's the difference between what's required for an O1 versus an EB-1A, and how can I prepare or even work in that same direction? That's when I found that EB1 is a visa, a green card petition, where it's not employer sponsored, it's a self petitioned visa. So you can even file it by yourselves with any attorney. In this case, I did it with Manifest Law. So that's how I found them during my journey to EB1A after my O1A.
Okay, so how what did you have to do to get O1?
Yeah. For O1, there are 8 criterias, and you have to meet 3 of them.
Mhm.
And after the 3 criterias, there is a sustained acclaim category where they look at all of your work holistically. So, what really helped me was with work we started back in 2019, actually, where I published 2 research papers in my undergrad. I pushed to kind of get them in reputed journals. So, I had a bunch of citations which were still being cited, and I had a bunch of patents. At that time, I had 2 patents which I filed at Zoom. So I went on those. So I for O1 the criteria I went with like, hey, I have some original work which I showed through my patents. I have scholarly articles which I had research papers with impact, and the third one that I play a critical role at Zoom. During that time, I'd recently gotten promoted at Zoom, so also that helped to make my case in that.
Okay. What's the timeline? So March 2023 or so, you learn you did not get picked in the lottery on the third attempt.
Yes,
From that point to filing your O1, how long did it take for you?
2 months.
2 months. Okay.
Yeah,
And how long did it take to get the result?
2 weeks.
Okay. So April, May. So by June, you had your O1.
Yes,
Some give or take around that.
yeah, more or
Then
less.
when did the idea to do EB1 come into picture?
The next day. Because I immediately started looking, okay, what's next? Because it was also like, okay, O1 was a tough nut to crack. So what's next? Like, what are the other options? And many people I spoke to who have the O1, the idea immediately starts coming in their mind. Like, okay, what can I do for the EB1? Because
Mhm.
the criterias, if you look on the USCIS website, they are exactly the same. Although they are looked at differently or adjudicated differently by USCIS, but the criteria is exactly the same. So the
Okay.
idea to do EB1A came immediately, but I started work on that, I think, 4 months later or so.
Okay. So what role did manifest law play with your EB1 application?
Yeah. Uh, Manifest like played the entire from strategizing how to approach my profile with an EB1A, which criteria to select. And I had gotten an RFE during that time. So even dealing or kind of writing an extremely strong RFE letter, writing the letters of recommendation from all the people that I wanted to get letters from. So they played like a really comprehensive role in that end to end. And I think the number one role that they played was helping me select the criteria, because every criteria needs to be strong enough to stand on its own. And the assumptions that I had in my mind or the data that I gave them, we had a really constructive conversation where they said that, okay, we don't think this will work as a criteria, but it would work in the final merits to show your comprehensive profile. And
Okay.
ultimately, those bets worked, and I got approved.
Okay. So could you walk me through the process of working with Manifest Law?
Yeah,
I know. So this event is sponsored by Manifest because they want to show to the audience in Happy Schools that they are able to support somebody like you. And
yeah,
that's the reason why I want one of their successful clients to come and talk to me, because that's the difference between just I'm talking to their attorney who is telling I can do your O1 or EB1 versus talking to somebody like you who have gone through the process. Okay.
absolutely.
So if you can walk me through what was the initial call like, what happened after that,
Yeah.
and how was the strategy put in place? So like paint a picture like as if you're just going through for the first time for somebody who is thinking about O1 or EB1 to work with Manifest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think before that, the first thing when you plan to apply for EB1A, the number one thing is which attorney do I go with? That's the number one consideration. I looked at probably 20 different attorneys, talked to a few, talked with many friends, and Manifest Law kept coming up in conversations, and like from everything from the service that they provided, their website was very comprehensive, where I could see, okay, which plan I can go with depending on my comfort level. Their attorneys have all their details on their website, like how many cases they have handled, their number of years of experience. So that really helped bolster confidence in it as a whole. So one of my friends helped me connect to Nicole, who's a principal attorney at Manifest, and then I had an initial consultation call with her. Before the call, I prepped everything I have so far: visa status, accomplishments, just a quick rundown on my profile. And in that initial consultation call, we went through what I want to do, what are the criterias, why EB-1A, and then how it can be positioned. The call went the call was very productive for me, because since I had an O1, I had a high level overview of how it works. But for EB-1A, it was entirely different. Like, and many assumptions that I had were wrong. And like, thanks to the attorney, it kind of really helped clear many doubts and
And you did
pitfalls.
self-sponsor of EB1?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Okay.
Self-sponsor, not through any employer, which
Okay.
is a good way to go, because then you're not dependent on any employment or any employer for your I-140.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So initially, it started with the consultation call, and my confidence level in Manifest increased after that initial call. So I decided to go with them. And the process was very smooth. I worked with two attorneys, one who took and reviewed my case, and the second one was who I had daily communications with on the specifics of my petition. And good thing about Manifest was they really started from just like first principles thinking on, like, what are the strongest criterias you have, what are the unique edges that you have. And one of the my favorite things was the documentation or the templates that they provided me to fill out my information. So you as a individual or a petitioner can help your attorney, or in this case, like, I could help Manifest best by presenting my case in a structured way, that these are my strengths, weaknesses, and these are the aspects of my profile which are unique to me. So in that template, I could really fill out all the unique details of what I've done so far, any work at Zoom, PayPal, patents, research papers, any judging, etc. So it really kind of helped to narrate it down. I had very frequent calls with their attorneys on just weekly check-ins, sometimes on like, hey, how's everything going? How are the letters, templates? Which criterias are we targeting? So it really worked in that way.
Okay. How long did it take after you decided I want to do EB1 to file your application?
Yeah, that's a good question. It took me a year and a half, uh,
Wow.
partly because of two reasons. One, I spent some time strengthening my work, kind of doing more work. Like, I reviewed a bunch of papers, conferences, as well as competitions. I had that in flight. And before talking with Manifest Law, I tried to work with my company's lawyer for my EB-1A, but they messed up my petition in a very bad way. So that it took me 6 months to kind of recover from it. It was so bad that I had to withdraw my initial application. So uh, and I've heard similar experiences from other people. So if you're trying to apply for an EB-1A with your company, just a heads up, majority of the experiences are not so ideal. And self-petitioning is the best. Then you have complete control over your profile and how you can position yourself. So that's how I then approached Manifest. And once I kind of got together with Manifest, it was smooth sailing from then.
Okay. After your application, after a year and a half of prep, getting application withdrawn, from application to where are you today? Did you get it approved, or where is the status?
Yeah, I got it approved 2 months ago.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
What was the wait time like? About 2 years?
Uh, yeah, I think I had a previous priority date because I did an EB to NIW in the middle,
Okay.
just as a backup
Okay.
for EB1. So I have a priority date in 2024. So I think the wait time could be 2 to 3 years for a green card.
Okay. So that EB to NIW came from Zoom. They did your EB to NIW.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, fantastic. So you got an earlier priority date that helped you to speed things up with EB1 since you're able to port that data to your
Yeah,
EB1. Okay.
exactly.
Okay. For anyone who is thinking of O1, or first let's talk about thinking of O1. You are pushed against the wall, you didn't have another choice, then you went looking for what options do I have.
Yeah.
Would you have done O1 right after your masters, as soon as you get your first job, or it was the job you did that got you the criteria to meet for O1?
It was the job I did which got me the criteria. And honestly, if I had gotten my H1B picked at Zoom anytime, I wouldn't have done the O1, and then by extension, I would have never done the EB-1A.
You probably would you be still on H1 without your green card?
Yes, I would still be on H1, probably doing perm, waiting in the EB2 line and not knowing any better.
Okay, so what have you learned about the US immigration system based on your journey so far?
Yeah. Uh, if you are from countries with a high weight type, your immigration journey looks very different from someone who's not. And this is how even the US visa bulletin is designed. It's the rest of the world: India, China, Mexico, and Philippines. So if you're from one of those countries, or if you're born there, your immigration journey looks very different. And sometimes you just have to play the cards you have been dealt and just do whatever it takes. In this case, I think for many Indians, doing the EB-1A, EB-1B, or EB-1C in many cases is the best and the fastest option to do it. And then doing it with an external attorney is another way to ensure that you have complete control on your immigration journey and not any employer, because an employer is already controlling your work status with your work visa, like an H1B, L1, or O1. But doing an EB1 A separately, by yourself, self petitioning it, is one of the best ways you can get control on your immigration journey in the US.
Okay. There are people, Akash, probably thinking, uh, and you didn't have a PhD, right? You had
No.
bachelor's and master's,
Yes.
and still, with your unique skill sets that you had, the US government was able to see how you'll be able to contribute to the US economy and the country. And that is why the EB1 category was designed for extraordinary ability.
That's right.
So, what advice would you give to somebody who is planning to do masters here or who are currently in master's program? Now, having gone through this, looking back, what advice are you giving to your friends or somebody who are in masters?
I think the number one advice is do hard things wherever possible. Initially, it might seem as impossible, or if you're almost sinking, or your like guts are burning. But if you do hard things, then they compound to more and different and unique things as you go along in your career. So a few things that I did during my masters, the people I met, the internship experiences, like when many of my friends like went to India, I did another internship. So those compounded into me getting an EB-1A right now. So I think that's the number one advice: just keep doing different things and just keep doing harder things.
Okay. Why would you have to send a email at 11 p.m. to get a reply at 1 a.m. to get an internship, right? So,
Exactly.
or why do you have to give up your PayPal? You probably would not have your green card if you probably were still at PayPal today.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So, like you said, do hard things. Uh, any other message you wanted to share with us before we wrap up this interview?
Uh yeah, I think in the whole immigration journey specifically, there's one thing I want to call out. Initially, when you read things on like approval, you think it's possible for me, or even you might self reject yourself in many cases, that hey, I just have a master's, or I don't have a PhD, I don't have research papers. Even you might hear me and say that, oh, I don't have patents or research papers, so I can't do an EB-1A. But that's probably not true. And that's why kind of even going with a specific attorney and talking to them about your case really makes sense, because there are so many different industry profiles, like product manager, data scientist, data engineer, engineering manager or what have you, like program manager even. And I know many of those roles who have gotten approved for the EB-1A. I think that's the number one thing which helped me with my initial consultation call, where I think Manifest had done EB-1As for PMs or even people in the industry and not just research folks. There are other attorneys out there who are only research focused, but with Manifest, they could see where the unique PM traits could be applied for the EB-1A and then for any role by extension. So I think when you're in the US, to take control of your journey, just talk with a great attorney and just don't make assumptions in your mind, because the law is extremely convoluted. So you need an expert in many cases.
Okay. So don't self eliminate yourself by assuming that you will not qualify for O1 or EB1 based on what you are reading or hearing about it from your friends or online.
Exactly. Always
Okay.
good to get an expert opinion.
Okay. All right. So if for those who are watching, please reach out to Manifest Law and evaluate your profile to see if you are able to meet any of the criteria to move things along. As you can hear from Akash's story, he took a leap of faith by giving up his H-1B visa and giving up his job to come to Zoom. And then today he has his green card because of some decisions that not many people might have taken. I'm not sure how many would have given up their H-1B to go to a company and then not end up getting H-1B for 2 years. So that is fantastic. All right. Uh, Anything else, Akash? Any other messages you wanted to convey?
Uh, yeah, I think just extending on the last part, everyone has their own individual journey in the US. So you have to not only take those decisions, but live with them. But if you get help from others in aspects that you don't know anything about, it makes the whole experience even better. And even in my case, I could have never done it alone. And especially like in the last part during my EB1 RFE, I was extremely dejected, or like, hey, what's going on, I am not sure how it will happen. But at the last point, like, Manifest came with an extremely strong RFE which gave me confidence to and like for an approval. So with ups and downs, you just have to keep going.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for your advice, Akash. And I wish you all the best in days ahead and your career. And please reach out to me if in case you need any help as you're navigating your uh, you have a new kid and then any other challenges life is going to throw at you.
Yeah, absolutely, Raghu, thank you for having me.
All right.
And for folks watching, if they want to connect with me, please reach out on LinkedIn or through Raghu anyhow.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Trying to see.